Daniel here for Tabletop for One, and my first impressions after 6 plays of Wyrmspan. And I thank you for joining me tonight. Now, Wyrmspan is the latest offering by Stonemaier Games, and it is designed by Connie Vogelmann, who also designed Apiary here behind me. Now, this is a spiritual successor to Wyrmspan, which I actually have never played. So I'm going into this with having, no experience playing that game, but I definitely have a lot of good things to say about this game. And so let's jump right in at the production quality. And so the production quality for Wyrmspan is fantastic. Now, I got the deluxe bits, all right? So it has the wooden components as well as the metal coins. But the game already comes with wooden eggs, and there's these really nice colored speckled eggs. And it has nice wooden tokens for everything else, as well as cardboard tokens for the resources if you don't get the deluxe. And then the cardboard itself is of good quality. Everything looks great. It has nice finish to it. The rulebooks themselves are fantastic, and they also have a nice finish. Yeah, so everything here, I have little to complain about. If I would complain about anything, it would be nitpicking, is that some of the lettering on the cards themselves is a little on the small side, but that's because I'm just getting older, my eyesight's getting worse. But other than that, production quality is fantastic. And so let's jump right into the gameplay. Now, the gameplay of Wyrmspan has you placing dragons into your cave. You're trying to bring dragons into your cave, but the dragons need space, and so you have to excavate these caves. And so on your turn, you're going to choose one of 3 actions to play, and so you're going to either excavate, which increases the depth of your caves, or you're going to entice, which brings a dragon into your cave, or you're going to explore your caves. And so as you play dragons out on your caves, you can explore your caves, and the further you have with dragons, the more you can explore those caves. They'll give you resources and cards, movement up on the guild track, and other things. Now, each of these actions actually costs a silver coin. You get 6 every round, and you have other ways of gaining them, either by the guild track or cards and other ways. And so these silver coins are premium currency, and you're trying to get them and use them because the more you have them, the more actions you can do every round. And the game is centered around this combo-tastic nature of you're playing one card to play another card to get a coin, so you have more actions in the round. Now, you're playing against an AI, and there's 2 modes for the AI depending on how you want to play. You have the first mode, which mimics the normal game. And so if you like that idea, you go with the first mode. If you want some interaction with the AI, you're going to go with the Ravel mode, which is what I did in my tutorial solo playthrough, and I love it. I really appreciate the Automa Factory for including that extra layer of interaction. I think it was perfect, and I love how it works. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And so once again, as you're building out your caves, you're going to get all sorts of resources, you're going to get more cards, you're going to move up on this guild track, which gives you bonus actions or bonus points. You're going to get eggs in your caves, which you can place in nests on dragons that have nests. You can cache resources in the cave, which are worth points at the end of the game. There's so many things you get to do, and you're doing all this to have the most points and beat out the AI. And so with that, let's talk about the ease of solo play. Now, I have to tell you right now, this rulebook is one of the best rulebooks I have ever read. It gives all the information in clear and concise ways, and then it repeats specific information that is important. And I love that because, if you watch my tutorial solo playthroughs, I do that. I repeat information that I think is important for you to remember, and it does that in this rulebook, and I love that. It worked out real well for me. I have trouble reading rulebooks. I really do. It takes me way too long to read rulebooks, but this rulebook was laid out in such a fashion and worded in such a way that I took to it real quickly, and I was able to play the game out of the gate, and it was just great. Now, as far as running the AI goes, if you're an Automa Factory fan, then you know that this AI is super streamlined, and it really is. And it just does a fantastic job. Now, the AI is never going to be, gaining resources, so you don't have to worry about spending resources and that sort of thing. You're just going to flip over a card. It's going to tell you if it's going to refresh the cards. It's going to tell you if it's going to work towards an objective. And then it's going to tell you where it's going to move around the guild track. And as it moves around the guild track, it's going to gain dragon cards and cave cards or score one of their tokens on the guild itself. And so, yeah, it's very simple to run. And it has this nice little mechanism of where the last card you draw, if it says at the top of that card that it's a pass, then the AI will pass that turn and not do an action. Whereas if it doesn't, they'll do an action. So each round, you never know if the AI is going to have, 6 or 7 actions. So it's a toss of the coin. And so I'd like that small hint of variability on the AI's time. Now let's go on to the replayability. So beyond the fact that there's this huge deck of dragon cards, like there's so many dragon cards and so many cave cards, lots of different combos to find in there too. And there's some really, really powerful cards. There's cards that just make you go, wow, I can do this. This feels like a cheat, but I can do it. It's fantastic. I love that fact. You have these great combos that you can find, and every time you play, you're gonna play it out a little bit differently. You might excavate the top row versus the bottom row or the middle row or something like that. It just, it really depends on how the cards come out. But also there's the guild, because there are different guilds that you can choose from, or you randomly choose it, and they provide different bonuses when you place your markers in those guilds. And then there's the objectives. You get randomly chosen 4 objectives, and they did those objective tiles double-sided. Thank you very much, Stonemaier. I love that. But they're double-sided, so on the other side it has something different. And so it provides a lot of replayability there. You're gonna play differently every time you play, but this game is just that much fun. And I'm gonna jump right into my recommendation. Do I recommend this game? Yes. This is, oh man, I love this game. This is a fantastic game. And I'm going to preface that by saying I have no relationship with Stonemaier. I've tried to get on their content creator list, and I've, failed in that effort. I pre-order their games pretty much all the time because I'm one of the Stonemaier champions. Yeah, I love this game, and it's been just such a blast to play. It's been a refreshing, I don't know what it is. It's the art style, it's the combo-tastic nature, it's Connie Vogelmann's design. Connie Vogelmann's design in Apiary was so much fun. I love that game. And then the design in Wyrmspan is just so much fun here. That combo-tastic nature of the cards, being able to do all these powerful actions, feeling like you're being rewarded for how efficient you are with all your actions. Everything about this works really well. And there's, I don't even know if there's anything I would change about it. And so after 6 plays, I've just had a blast with this game. And I've even played in multiplayer and had a blast there. And so yeah, I highly recommend this game. Now, again, I don't know about, the comparison between Wingspan and Wyrmspan. I know there are some differences, but, I can't compare those two, so sorry about that. But I love this one. This one's great. Art's great. The gameplay's great. There's, like I said, nothing that I dislike about it. And so there you have it. That was my first impressions after 6 plays of Wyrmspan by Connie Vogelmann and Stonemaier Games. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if you've played this game and what you think of it. Also, let me know about Wingspan. How good is it? Some of my friends have told me, what in the world? You don't have Wingspan yet? Maybe one of these days I'll get it. But you'll have to let me know how that is. And please like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank all my Patreons for their support of this channel. And I thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.